Here are today's episode highlights.
People are so damn rude, especially nowadays, right? And so, yes, today we're going to talk about those moments in society, in our community, in our homes.
Amongst even our friends. Your daughter has been with me for 24 hours and I didn't hear from you at all. And you era Latina.
You know what? You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I've been that mom where we actually complain about other moms.
Yes.
What we perceive as rude might be normal for another culture.
Very normal.
Or other people. And so I think today we're just going over like those cultural norms. What is normal for some people is not for others.
Bar and restaurant or just bar?
But both. They're
when
both
you're
the same
hanging out.
setting.
Bar,
you know?
restaurant etiquette. Oh, I got a lot to say about that.
Well, start, Coma. El que invita paga. Clearly is that. El que invita paga aquí en China. Bueno, en China ya no sé what the whole situation with China.
The one that's having all the drinks calls the other one that's having water a tacaña. Oh, she's so tight. Look at her. No, you're tight. You're tight. I'll tell you why. Because you want everybody to pay your drinks.
Yes.
What exactly did I eat? Down to the freaking penny.
Yes.
And they forget to add the tax and the tip.
In lieu of gifts, please give a donation to our kids' college fund. I think that's rude.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, damn, RG, like, she knows I really like this guy and I want to introduce him. I was like, this was the perfect opportunity. And I had a hard time with it, RG. I was like, oh my God, like, she doesn't want me to bring my boyfriend.
When I grew up, there was no RSVPs. Are you kidding me? It was literally like Thursday. Mañana vamos a hacer carne asada. Vénganse.
This whole tipping culture here in the U.S., I've had it.
It's like
expectation.
It's gone out of control.
And I hate how awkward it feels too when they're like, we're going to turn the computer around for you to, and I'm like,
they just flip it.
And now you want me to put on those slip-ons to ruin my very well composed outfit. Could you just next time tell me?
You're on the toilet and you're on speaker with the guy. And you know what I did? I flushed my toilet like 3 times. I'm like, dude, seriously? Why?
that's not etiquette.
Hey girl, welcome. We've been waiting for you. Bienvenida. We are 4 Comadres and we are so excited to have you here. I am Argelia.
I am Mindy.
I am Diana.
And I'm Janet. This is Comadres Unfiltered. Salud!
Salud a la distancia.
Told me, Janet. I thought she was only drinking water. And
No,
then I see
it's
that.
like uno you know.
You know what, Dee? How rude.
I know.
How do you mean? How rude of you to not offer wine to la comadre D.
Girl, I offer wine to everybody.
She offered.
We're just teasing.
She had
You know
good
what?
You and me, RG. You and me.
Salud, comadrita, a la distancia. You know what? For a second there, when I found out that la coma Mindy and la coma D were only going to drink water and be so healthy, de repente yo dije, se los juro, que dije, how rude of me to tell Janet, girl, we need to like take out the bottle of wine, but then how rude is it for them? Y nos salió M, ¿verdad? Dijimos, ¿sabes?
That lasted a total of 5 seconds, and then you're like, I need wine.
I need wine.
Well, girls, 12 hours ago, I was drinking tequila.
I
so
know.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I know. Ella se tiene que desintoxicar.
Yes.
All good.
That's right.
So she's cleansing herself.
Yes, I was having tequila 12 hours
Just
ago.
so that you know, I'm very proud of myself. The last 2 days, Mindy, I have not had 1 glass of wine until today.
There you go.
Today's a special day. Today's a special day. We're shooting.
Yes.
We're taping. Comadres Unfiltered.
Yay!
¿Verdad? And I kind of want to fill in our comadritas on how we plan these episodes. Because a lot of them say, how do you come up with these, topics? A lot of them suggest topics. But I really want to focus on what Dee has been asking for a very long time about just how people are so damn rude, especially nowadays, right? And so, yes, today we're going to talk about those moments in society, in our community, in our homes.
Amongst
within
even our friends.
How we tend to do things that are just completely out of the norm, and we're gonna share our takes on that.
Yes,
in many ways, right? Things that we love, but things that we hate, but things that tick us off, things that we ignore. You were venting one day. You walked into the studio. Yo te dejé hablar y hablar y hablar. I'm out, girl, vent it.
Let it out.
And I say, you know what? You're not the only one. I've been that mom where we actually complain about other moms.
Yes. Yes. So,
and that's how this started.
Yeah. So the episode was inspired because I was telling you how my daughter had a little sleepover at my house for her birthday. And these girls came over. I didn't know who they were. Nobody came to my door to knock on my door. No parents came. Nobody called me ahead of time. Like, hey, our daughter's spending the night, or, we heard there's a slumber party. Are you going to be there? Nadie. Nobody called. Nobody contacted me. These girls were dropped off. It was only 3 of them.
But still.
3 of them were dropped off. 2 of them stayed. They were nice, sweet girls, but they didn't call me by Miss Castillo, nothing, like not just like hi, and then that was it. And then one of them did spend the night. I had never met her before. I didn't know her parents. And then that was it. And I call her little girl. She stayed with me until 5 p.m. the next day. We went to the Americana. We went and had lunch and everything. The mom or dad or whatever never called, never texted. Hey, how are you doing? Is my daughter okay? I heard you guys are going to the Grove or whatever, the Americana. Nothing. Not until we came back home and the mom was waiting at the driveway already. Oh, thank you. And
Ni siquiera se bajó el carro.
Well, she did come and say hi to me, but I was like, your daughter has been with me for 24 hours and I didn't hear from you at all. Like, and y era Latina. I was surprised.
And that is what I was going to get at.
Because a sleepover?
Cultural differences,
yes.
right? Like, we grew up so differently. And I think back to what you're saying, what we perceive as rude might be normal for another culture.
Very normal.
Or other people. And so I think today we're just going over like those cultural norms. What is normal for some people is not for others, including times and going out and kids and all of that. So that's what we're going to tackle today. Those cultural differences. Are they cultural? Just like those are just the difference, the social differences that we have when talking about different topics.
You know what? That, or as Latinas, somos muy fijadas. Yeah. Honestly, we look at everything, because I've had those experiences too where I feel honored that they trust me with their kids. But it's a huge responsibility.
Yes.
And I think it's amazing that, the besties of my girls feel this trust and this comfort, and they love to be in my home. But yes, you're right. Cami, when are they picking her up? I don't know. Oh, okay. But then they don't even text you, like you said, like, oye, like, do they know that we're going out to dinner with the family? Does this mean that now I have to take those kids to dinner? And I'm okay paying for them, but do they know that this is a family gathering and they didn't even bother to say, maybe you have plans?
Yes.
And here I am with my kids in your home. And seriously, girls, there's been moments where we've actually been late to our events or dinners because either those kids' friends got picked up too late or didn't get picked up at all. So I he ido a funciones de la familia. I've gone to family events with las amiguitas because no llegó mamá y papá, and I guess they're my responsibility. I'm not going to leave them by themselves at home.
But that's because you need to have an end time. See, you got to do it the way I do. Okay, so even if you don't have something to do, you say just make sure you let them know that you have an event that starts at 5. They have to be out of the house by like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
If they're okay with that, then it's okay to stay.
But you know what? I love what you said, but I tell that to Cami.
Yeah.
Yes, your friends can come, but just make sure that they know that we're leaving at 6. So that means that her parents have to come and pick her up at 5:30 at the latest, right?
Right.
Because I don't want to be that mom like, oh, I just found out that your daughter's here at my house, and o sea, it becomes very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Y aparte, etiquette. This whole episode's about etiquette. If I'm gonna, leave my daughter at a neighbor's house, yo como mujer educada, con principios y valores, I'm gonna actually go knock on the door and say, oh my God, thank you so much for, hanging out with my daughter in your house. But you know what? I'll be back in 3 hours. I'm gonna go get my nails done in the meantime. But I'll be back.
Yeah.
And thank you for, if you're gonna go out and order some food, here's some money, Camila, because that's a whole other story. Girls, literally, I picked up girls at the school where I'm like, are you girls hungry? And the friends say, yes, can we go to Chipotle?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah. Or Chili's. And they're like, and I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, do they have money? No. Okay, yo pago. Yo pago. Pero es como que llegan con una confianza.
Sí.
It's beautiful. But then it's like, do the parents know? Do the parents even bother?
I think most of them carry credit cards.
Yeah.
Or Apple Pay.
Apple Pay.
No, girl, because I still have to pay. I still have to pay.
Well,
and I'm okay paying because I want to be the cool mom. I want to be the cool mom.
Okay, well, once in a while, I think it's great. But if you're having a 3-day sleepover or the whole weekend, then it can get really pricey when there's more than 3, 4, 5, right?
Yeah.
It's happened to me. But here's a trick. Like, do your girls have credit cards that they carry?
Yeah,
with
they
them?
have Apple Pay. It's all about Apple Pay.
Okay, so what you do is they want to go to Taco Bell, an example.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to go to Taco Bell. Okay. You take them to Taco Bell. You don't do drive-through. You don't walk in. You let them go to Taco Bell. Everybody orders their food.
On your own.
And then I'm here. I'm going to take a call. I'm going to wait for you guys right here.
That's how you do it.
One thing that's really important to note is that, our kids' ages. So, we've entered that stage where they're a little bit more independent and they're making plans amongst themselves. Our kids are in the teenagers now. They're 14, 15, and 16.
Yeah, 16.
And so this is the age that we've kind of entered that we just don't have the rule book on, right?
No.
Ever since they were little, I think there's just a little bit more attention from parents, right? When you drop them off, even birthday parties, they would stay.
Right.
And then you enter the stage where it's the drop-off party, right?
Yeah.
And now we've entered a whole different place where they're making plans amongst themselves.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
I mean, I had to take one of my kids to the movies with 8 other kids.
Oh my gosh!
And
What
I
happened?
didn't know that I was the tribute mom. And now the moms are texting me like, "Oh, by the way, you're going to the movies." I was like, "News to me." But it's communication.
Yes.
And once he tells me, if we can work it out, we can work it out. If we can, we can't. You know what I mean? But it's communication. And it's letting our kids know what the rules are when making plans.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you are going to make plans, you need to make sure that mom and dad are okay with it. You need to clear it before you clear it with somebody else. You need to let us know what your plans are. We need to clear it. Then you can tell your friends, yes, you can come over. Or, and food too, right? Like they're coming over and it's almost dinner. I'm like, wait, like I was going to
Who's hungry?
go out. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's what I was
And
telling
now
you
I'm like,
earlier.
all right, I guess
You're
I have to order
stuck at
pizza,
home.
And so all of those things have to be cleared and it's communication.
Totalmente. And don't get me wrong. I love having my girls' besties at home. I love that. They're happy. I'm happy. I get to do my own thing. But it really does trigger me. Not to the point where I get upset either. It's just like, how interesting that I picked her up from school at 3:00 and it's already 8:00. Y la mamá y el papá, ni pío, ni pao, ni pipi, ni pao. Like, they're not concerned at all. Or not even the thank you.
Yes.
I just want to thank you. Like, even on the text, like, hey, I'm outside. Thank you so much. Sometimes I don't even get that anymore. In the beginning, I did. But I guess it becomes so common.
Routine.
That it's now a given. Not even a thank you. Not even like, I got the girls next time. Or even, hey, the next day, right? I heard that you took the girls to Chipotle. Thank you.
Now, let me ask you
I don't
this.
get that.
Do you have a relationship with those parents? Are they like your friends? Or
Fíjate
just
que relationship, like at school, like I see them and I say, hey, how are you? The common talk. But there are 2 parents that I do have a relationship, since pre-K.
Right.
And maybe
Okay,
that's why they feel
it's
so
definitely-
comfortable.
it's the
Like they trust me
comfort.
with their soul. And I've told them, thank you so much for choosing me to be the home where they get to sleep the night over, because that means that, you know that your girls are safe in this house. And to me, that is gold, because guess what? Even though I trust them as well for the movies or dinner, I'm still not there where I get to leave my girls sleep at even their bestie's house. I just don't think I'm just not used to that. And I'm not there yet. Maybe I will. And todavía no estoy ahí. And the girls know it. So I'd rather go through the, okay, I know they appreciate me getting their girls, but a thank you wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What is buena onda? Gracias.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what? Thank you goes a long way, doesn't it?
It
It's like they get too
feels
comfortable. They get too comfortable.
We forget, I try. I go extra. I'm the extra mom.
See.
Where I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. You went out of your way. We're so grateful for you. We
I even send
appreciate you.
pictures, girls.
I send pictures as well.
I'm out taking pictures and I'm like, look, they're hanging out. A mí se agarran la onda.
Yeah.
They come and pick them up.
Honestly, that makes you feel amazing. Like, okay,
Yes.
great. They're on top of the kids. They're keeping track of all the
Yes.
activities. I love that.
That's a very
I'm
good
one of those
point.
moms. I'm one of
Sending
those moms.
photos and just like, look what they're doing.
I do
Look
it.
what they're doing.
I do
I'm
it
always like,
all
thank
the time.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I do it all the time, girl.
I
And
get
then
to-
you send
I do it.
pictures and
Yes.
one mom will reply with the heart and other moms will be crickets. But you know what? I did my
because
part.
they don't want the reminder that they need to go pick up their child. They're busy at the bar,
Or they
getting
forgot.
a manicure,
They're busy on a date.
They
or they're
forgot.
on alone. They're having their alone time.
Yeah.
you
They
know?
forgot.
They might be.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
forgot their kids are
Which
there.
is
no?
great because we moms help each other. Hey, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
that's
it.
great.
It's a great support.
But
Right now you mentioned they're probably at the bar.
whoops.
Let's talk about bar/restaurant etiquette. When we go out with friends.
Yes.
When that check comes in, or just anything rude that happens during the time that we're hanging out in that
or perceived
ambiance.
rudeness, right?
Yes.
Because we don't know. Like some people just think of it as normal, and then we think of it as rude because that's not how we grew up, or that's not how we do things, right? So you're talking about bar etiquette and like
Wait,
restaurant
bar and
etiquette.
restaurant or just bar?
Well, both. They're
when
both
you're
the same
hanging out.
setting.
Bar and
Yeah.
restaurant etiquette. Oh, I got a lot to say about that.
Well, start, Coma.
Got a lot to say
Well,
about
it's
that.
you know, you make a good point because you don't drink anymore, right?
Yes.
And so we're at dinner. I have, if I'm going out, you know, it's like when you go out, you accept the social setting that you are going to be a part of. And so if you are going to go out with a group of friends for a birthday, you already know that you have no control over what people are going to order. You have no, you know, you hope that people are, you know, careful like with what they order, like just aware. But you have no control over it. And so you are already accepting that you are going to dinner and you are going to split the bill.
Okay, but let me catch you and stop you right there. Una amiga te invita.
Yes.
Hey, let's go out and have some drinks or dinner. You know, te invito. Literally, te invito.
Yes.
Y llega el cheque, and I'm okay paying my stuff. Pero si alguien te invita, if someone invites you, like in my mind, like, oh, how cool, she's treating me, right? Y llega el bill, and it's like, oh, let's go Dutch, half and half.
After
It's
she invited
fine
you.
for me, but if it's an invitation, then, because when I invite girls, I invite.
Yeah.
I always say, te invito, or I got this,
Yeah,
and
my
I
treat.
take the bill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pero cuando, sometimes that blurry line gets me. It really does get me because, no sé, me
It's your
molesta.
expectations.
It's my expectation. Yeah, my expectation, literally.
Because you keep your word when you say te invito.
Well, it's what it's how she interprets that
Te invito?
conversation and how it goes. Maybe they didn't interpret it that way. Te invito means come out with me
Yeah.
for them. And then, you know,
But should
then
it
they
be
go Dutch.
disclosed? Like if I'm going to treat you, if I'm going to invite you, I'm not going to say, vas a pagar, because that's rude. I'm just going to go because I want to have fun with you. And I
Yeah.
want to see you and I want to talk to you and I want to catch up. Pero si hay expectations, you're right. I'm not saying it's rude, but is it bad that I go home thinking, "Cacha, me invitó y ni siquiera pudo pagar mi pinche copa de vino"?
See, I don't
That's
have
what I think.
I don't have that expectation.
Yeah, I
like if
don't
I'm like,
either.
Janet, let's go to lunch on Tuesday. I'm not. I hope Janet doesn't expect me to pay for her lunch. I said, let's go out to
No,
lunch.
but look what you said.
Unless you
Let's
say
go to
treat.
lunch. It's very different from, hey, I miss you. Te invito. Because I've had that.
Pero
I've
te
literally
invito,
had.
say it in English. I want to take you out to lunch.
Yeah, I want to take you
okay,
out.
then
Take
then
you
that's.
out.
I want to take you out to
She
dinner.
did you dirty. She did
And not just she. It's been she's. Like it's been not
more
more
than
than
one.
once. And
Oh.
this has been for years.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
like a one-time deal. Entonces digo yo, o sea, we really are not on the same page here with the etiquette.
Not the way to communicate.
Yo te invito to them means let's go out.
Janet,
Yeah.
el que invita paga. It clearly is that. El que invita paga aquí en China. Bueno, en China ya no sé, with the whole situation with China.
I feel like this about dates. I don't feel like this about friends. If I was invited on a date, they're paying. And if
Of
they
course,
don't
if
pay,
they
I'm
invite
looking
you.
sideways. I'm like, okay.
If
And
they
when you,
invite
okay,
you.
when you say date, you mean like male female date?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Male,
yeah.
female date.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Even those things. I've talked to a lot of younger single couples.
What
I
is
mean,
a scenario now?
right now? It's changed a lot.
I bet.
Let's just say that there's very few men that will pick up and they're like ballers, like
Yeah.
what we're used to when we were younger.
Yeah.
We were
I don't see it
treated
as
for
ballers.
everything.
I see it as you know, they're treating me out to dinner. You know, that me invitaron a salir. You're choosing the place. You're choosing the restaurant. You know, I'm very aware of what I'm ordering. But like I've always, when I was dating back in the day,
I was gonna say.
but I also, you know, it's not that I'm.
How long ago were you dating, Janet?
Girl, it was a while ago.
Yeah,
but,
Thank you very much.
But I still
Different
feel
generation.
the same way.
Thank you
No,
very
but
much.
I'm just saying, even back then, I remember friends that would go Dutch and do that whole thing because they were dating maybe friends that they were in college with. But I didn't. I just didn't. It's not because I was seeking that out. It was just like the guys maybe that I was dating were just doing that.
But let's be honest.
But now it's modern.
Let's be honest. If it's a friend, like your bestie from high school, which happens to be a male,
Yeah.
I am okay with going Dutch. I do that with my friend Ralph.
with
Shout out to
yes.
Ralph. We always
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
Pero si es un pretendiente,
That's what I'm
sorry.
saying.
If he's like,
Trying to romance
hey
you?
RG,
Yes.
back in when I was 25, okay?
Yeah.
O sea, hace 25 años.
Yeah.
Hey RG, vamos te invito, vamos a comer. Because they're not saying te invito.
Yeah.
Because now it's like too formal, te invito. It could be
Yeah.
too
Right.
serious, right?
Yes.
Te invito. But if I know que me está tirando la onda, he's flirting with me.
Yeah.
Of course I expect him to pay the bill because the impression is going to be like, o sea, me quiere conquistar, pero ni siquiera me pudo pagar una ensalada. ¿Me
Yeah.
entiendes?
Totally.
Where's the
And then-
romance?
but don't get me wrong. Then if I want to go out, maybe I get tickets somewhere and then I take him out, right? I'm like, hey, I got tickets. I would
Yeah.
love for you to go with me. But
you pay for the drinks.
And I pay for, I have. I'll pay for the drinks.
Wait, you invite him to an outing and then you still pay for the drinks?
No. What I'm saying is, I invite him to the outing. Most likely, they're going to pay for everything
Yeah.
else. Now, if we are out at dinner and then maybe we'll go get a drink after, maybe I'll pick up the drinks after. You know what I
okay.
mean?
I can-
it's kind
that
of
is
like
a nice
balance.
touch.
What do you
I was gonna say, I know, why you guys asking me?
Damn.
Why you guys asking me?
We have someone in the dating scene currently.
Yes.
And she has the authority to speak her truth. What's
Yes.
going on nowadays?
Okay, so my boyfriend does take care of all the bills. Like every time we go to dinner, he invites me to dinner. We go to dinner. He always picks up the bill.
Okay.
But me as a like, I don't want to say courtesy, but like to me, it's like I'll pick up sometimes. Like we go and I just sneak like I'll pay the first round of drinks
okay.
because I already know he's gonna pay for the dinner.
Sí,
and these
yeah.
are nice dinners, you guys. These are not like Chipotle. Like he takes me to I have to say I'm very lucky. He takes me to really nice places.
Okay.
So, or we just went to Mexico City, for instance. He paid for the flights and the hotel and everything. Oh yeah, I couldn't. I mean, come on. Once in a while, I'd be like, I'd sneak like, oh, I'd pay for his
churro.
his bun, or the mango, the street mango. Literally, the street tacos or the mango cup. I'm like, oh yeah, like why can't I just like? I
But
don't
that
have-
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Eso sí vale.
That's
We're talking
nice.
about when they take you out.
Yeah.
Y se hacen de la vista gorda or
No.
too picky. It says a lot about their stinginess too.
Yes.
I mean, if they're courting you,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
that first date or first 3 dates,
Yes.
I'm sorry, te da este es bien
Yeah, yeah.
tacaño.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to marry someone? Well, I don't know about marry, but you
Yeah.
want to be with someone that's going to be counting pennies?
Yeah. No.
But I mean, that's what you
And a
look
lot of
for,
men are like that.
right?
Yeah.
But that's what you look for when you sit
Yes.
down for dinner. It's the beginning of a long relationship. You know, you don't know if it's going to end or not, but if it does continue, every meeting that you have, every dinner that you have is a place for you guys to get to know each other even better. And these are the things that start coming out. Is this a person, you start looking for the qualities that you're looking for in a person, right? And so one of the qualities that I look for is somebody that will take care of me emotionally, spiritually, everything else. But like, I want you to want to take care of me, and I want to take care of you.
Yes.
And this is what you were talking about. I go out and I buy the gifts and I do something nice, right? And I do a lot of things, but I want that to be reciprocated.
Sí.
And I don't want somebody to be like, oh, you do well, so we're gonna go
Assume.
Dutch.
Oh my God, assumption. It's the assumption.
Or they do. They're like, you do well, so let's go Dutch. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not the type of relationship. I don't want to
Yeah.
go half in a relationship.
Let's discuss that. Assuming. It happens with family. Y me tiene hasta aquí.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it happens with
Or
family.
just because one family member has a stable job, right? And apparently is doing fairly well, decent. Llega el cheque or, the bill. And right away, people assume that because that person is making the bucks,
Yes.
automatically check for that person. And I think that is the rudest thing. Because that is not fair. And yes, I have been that person. Lo digo con coraje, pero you know what? Afortunadamente, Diosito, tengo que pagar. I'm going to be
And
generous.
That's what it is. That's what
I'm
it
going to
is.
be generous, but it's just the principle of it.
The
Yes.
fact that they assume,
Exactly.
the fact that they
That's
assume,
what bothers me.
she's got it.
That's what
It's
bothers me.
so
I
good.
want to see the pretend like, oh, wait, here's my
Exactly.
wallet. Oh, I mean, if like fake it.
Yeah.
Fake it if you have to.
Yeah.
There's
Or I
something
forgot the wallet, right?
Yes,
At least.
or can I Venmo
Yeah.
you later?
Yes,
that.
something.
But
At
that
least say
assumption.
something.
What you're talking about and what you're talking about is something that I have felt. And I think with all these situations, it's expectation versus gratitude.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you have this expectation that somebody else is going to get the bill. And if they do get the bill, instead of being grateful because they do not need to pay for me, right? Like, I don't care who it is. They don't need to pay for me. But they are like, oh my gosh, that is so kind. But like,
Right.
to expect somebody else to pay for you or to expect somebody else to take care of you, to expect somebody else to do something for you just because of who they are or like what they do.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I have a huge heart. I want to do everything for everybody. But when I start feeling taken advantage of.
That's the key word.
Yes.
It's
It's expectation.
We're not a walking credit card.
Well, and it's expectation. It's you. All of a sudden, it went from me feeling grateful to pay, or them feeling grateful that I'm paying for something or that I'm doing something for them, to expecting it.
Yes.
And that goes with my kids. That goes with everybody.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it steps from the expectation to, or from gratitude to expectation, I have like a big reaction for that. And it doesn't matter the amount of money. It might not even be money. It might be my time. You know,
Right.
and
I agree.
think that's what hurts the most.
And digging deeper, girls. I'm going deep on this one, okay? Because we've all been through this. And I know there's going to be comadritas saying, oh my God, RG, yes, yes, yes. So, ponle, this hasn't happened with us, fortunately. Si no, las iba. Nah, just kidding. No, but también me ha pasado that I've gone out with a group of friends. And there's always that one person that's going to get the check and is going to literally dissect it. And see what exactly did I drink? What exactly did I eat? Down to the freaking penny.
Yes.
And they forget to add the tax and the tip. That happens all the time. And I hate that
They
moment.
only put that
yeah,
amount.
and I hate the moment of even when the bill gets there and it's like, ¿quién lo ve primero? Because I know there's going to be one person who's going to dissect, and I'm like, come on, it's only like 4 of us or 6 of us. Can we just split it in 6? It's the time that we spent. It's not really what we ate.
I
It's
got
the
something
moment.
to say about that.
Yes.
But you know what? But you know what? But then I get it, because that one person will be like, well, I only had a salad or the soup, the bowl of soup, not even a full entree, right?
Yeah.
I get that, but sometimes it's like it becomes so awkward.
Yes.
And that awkward moment to me kills the vibe.
Yes.
Y te vas a la casa diciendo, no cambia.
I've learned to skip the bowl of soup. Everybody's good. If everybody's having an entree, I might as well just get the entree, because you're going to end up splitting the bill.
But I want to hear Comadre Mindy's take on it.
Well, there's different takes to this, as a matter of fact, right? It all depends on the setting. Okay,
Yes.
you girls will agree. Okay, so if you do family style with a group of girls, right? Let's
Family
say
style.
a birthday, birthday party. Okay,
Yeah.
there are 6 girls. Okay, more or less 6 girls hanging out, and everybody says, you know what? These are like family style bites. Let's order family style. That's wonderful. Everybody can order some of their favorite food. They bring it to the center. Everybody's eating. It's equal, right?
Yeah.
It's
Hang
not like
on, we did that for Dee's birthday last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
Exactly.
describing Dee's scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, which is wonderful. It's not like everybody chooses an entree, right? So this is a scenario where everybody's having a family style dinner,
Sí.
which is absolutely perfect. I love that. It's pretty much equal. Everybody's eating the food, right? They order more. That's fine. This is what really irks me. Drinks are as expensive, okay?
Yes.
As appetizers these days.
Probably more.
Or more.
Yes.
Okay. Every drink is 18 to 22.
Yes.
I look at that all the time.
Yes.
So somebody's having 2 to 3. Okay. And
following.
when the bill, and then I'm having water, and this Susie over here is having water too.
Just say
right?
RG.
No. Bottom line, guys.
RG,
girl.
RG, you're having 2 bottles.
I mean, you know what's funny is that the one that's having the drinks is like, they're always looking at the bill. Just split it. It's like, wait a minute. Why are we splitting it when you had $40 worth of drinks or more?
That is me.
I'm like, you know what?
But you're
Hear me out. It's funny because the one that's having all the drinks calls the other one that's having water a tacaña. Oh, she's so tight. Look at her. No, you're tight. You're tight. I'll tell you why. Because you want everybody to pay your drinks for you, even the ones that are not drinking. So it does irk you because honestly, food is not that expensive as drinks.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
¿Sabes
Food
qué?
is this much. Drinks is hundreds
So I
and
think
hundreds
that's a
of
good point,
dollars.
though. When you have a friend in the group that doesn't drink, I think instead of them having to point it out and saying, hey, like, I think one of the other friends should say, hey, Mindy didn't drink, so let's keep that in mind when we split the bill.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that communication ahead of time. Hey, by the way, girls, I'm not going to drink. Or talk to one of them, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm speaking up for Mindy, so Mindy doesn't have to be uncomfortable.
Here's another idea.
Yes.
I like to take rounds. Like, for example, like
rounds of what?
Like
Always.
always. No, es que para evitar este problema, the bill should just be food, I think. And then the other separate bill would be drinks. And then I like to do like, this round is on me.
Oh,
that way,
but it's hard to do that at a table sometimes.
No, but that's hard.
Yeah.
In other words, the best way to do it, honestly, is just everybody get your drinks at the bar. Open up your tab, and then the food
true.
bill, you just split it. So easy.
Okay, so here's RJ with 3 drinks.
All the little, no, honestly, all the little borrachitas, they're like, to the bar. And then the waiters are like, another round, girls? 2 more, right? Everyone's drinking, having a blast. They're completely toasted. You're there sober. The bill comes, they slap it on, and there's hundreds of dollars worth of drinks. Everybody had 3, minimum 2 to 3, some even 4, and it's like each drink is $18 to $22.
No, to be honest with you,
it is abusive.
It is a great point. I think it's a great point.
Yeah.
Drinks are expensive, and to be honest, you guys have been out dinner with me. I do no more than 2 drinks. One when it's a little cocktail before, and then la copa que me dura toda la cena. And because I gotta drive, I gotta be responsible.
Yes.
But you're right. That's a good point with the alcohol. It always gets tricky. I'll never forget. Quick story. I celebrated my birthday when I think I turned 27, 20. I was already dating Omar. There we go, pobrecito, because he's the one that paying the bill. When I was celebrating my birthday at La Fonda. And I invited like my close. Remember La Fonda?
Yes.
I think it's still there, but it's so different now.
Yes.
Y también I was going to take care of, the dinner. And I never thought about the freaking drinks. So when we got the bill, we got the bill, it's so funny. People started saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Like before the celebration was over, people started to say, hey, RJ, gotta go. And it was the people that drank the most.
Of course.
And so we got stuck with the massive bill. Omar hasta la fecha no se le olvida.
Oh, no.
Because it was the heaviest bill.
I bet.
Yes, it was. You know when you're listening to mariachi?
Yes.
2 shows.
Tequila shots.
Thank you. And you're right. It is tricky. So what is the proper way to celebrate your birthday when you want to make a reservation at a nice restaurant, but you also want to make sure that you're not stuck with the heavy bill? Because as a birthday girl, you want to treat your friends, right? Yeah. But also, as a birthday girl, you don't want to treat every single drink because si te va a salir más caro.
You have to announce it.
How do you go about it?
You say first round of drinks on me.
Is that
the rest open up the bar tab?
I've never done that.
You just have to say it.
So like what I do, because I've been doing this for a couple of years with my girlfriends, I just say no gifts. My gift is you guys pay for your dinner. So I always make that clear with my friends because everybody wants to bring a gift, and I'm like, don't bring me a $40 candle or a $100 robe. Like I have everything.
A robe.
No. I know. No, everybody. I love the gifts, but I'm like, I don't need the gifts.
Yeah.
For me, it's the time that you guys like make to come and have this dinner with me. For me, that is my birthday gift.
Okay.
Your time. But I do tell everyone, I'm like, it's my birthday. Don't buy me a gift. Save that money. Pay for your dinner. That's what I say.
And you put the one that doesn't drink in charge of the bill.
Yes. No, but seriously, because I'm like, your dinner's going to cost you $50, $60 depending on where we go, because it's, that's LA for you. But to me, I'd rather you be happy with like, you know what? I had a great dinner with Diana. It was fun. I spent $75, $80, whatever it ends up being once it's split up. But instead of, God damn, I spent $80 on dinner, on Diana's dinner, and I bought her a $100 gift.
But even then,
to me,
and I picked up the tab on. I paid it for everyone's drinks, and I had water.
Yeah, and I just want
taken advantage of.
Yeah,
to me, you're talking about in your situation.
Situation of somebody who doesn't.
In your situation, or anyone that shows up late to the dinner and already ate because they're coming for another event, so they didn't even eat.
Well, that's easy because they're not a part of the. And then I think what happens is they had 1 or 2 drinks. Usually, what happens is, the dinners that I go to, there's already an expectation, even with a gift. Like I'm not complaining about something that I already know ahead of time. I already know that when we go out to dinners, when it's just all girls and it's a birthday girl, we're all going to split the bill, and we're also going to pick up for the tab of the birthday girl.
Yes,
that is what's standard, and it's given. And so I don't blink twice. I know that the bill is probably going to be about $80 to $120 depending on where we go. And then if there's any extra, that's me saying yes to the night.
Yeah, and I hope that is that comes off as courteous because like I said, I don't want you guys to spend money additional on a gift. To me, the gift is your time.
D, I'm so glad you said that. Say it again. No gifts?
No gifts.
Okay. So this is my issue with you. I'm a gift girl. I really love to show up to a birthday celebration, whether it's a small dinner or a big party. If it's celebrating the life of my friend, yo tengo que traer un detalle. So when you say no gifts, please, was such a perfect transition into the parties now. Or when we get an invitation even for children nowadays, no toys, no gifts. Si quieren darme algo, this is true story. Money for the college fund. Like, is that rude? You're imposing now that the people give money, literally physical cash or a check, instead of a toy for a 5-year-old kid that just wants a toy. So what is the etiquette with the no gifts, please? Because at the end of the day, you're telling me to go against something that I want to do.
It's your love language.
Yes, exactly. I love giving.
Language.
Whether it's something small, obviously, but it's thoughtful.
Have you seen those memes or those videos where you're putting the gift together in the car?
Yes.
It's happened to me many times because you don't have time. So I swear when somebody says, please don't bring any gifts, you're like,
Thank you, Lord.
Because I am coming out of work. I had to go pick up the kids. The last thing you do is now have to go to the store, go pick something out that's custom for this person because you love them. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. So when they take that weight off of you and say, don't worry about gifts, you're the gift. Come and spend time with me.
But there's still a weight, and I get it. Somebody told me this a long time ago, especially for the little ones. The little ones, especially when they say, donate here or please no gifts. And we know, we just don't, like sometimes they just have so many toys and you don't want more toys. But the one thing that I think somebody told me this a long time ago that you can still bring is a book. Right? Like a really beautiful book for the kid. And so you are thinking of them, you're bringing a gift, you're bringing a book, and that could be for a friend too. You just bring a book to them or maybe something small that means something to you.
A bottle of wine would be fine.
Bottle of wine.
No, I like to give
listen, I would be happy with a bottle of wine.
Of course. But hear me out. If somebody says, in lieu of gifts, please give a donation to our kids' college fund. I think that's rude because first of all, what if you're on a budget and you can only you're planning to give that kid a $30 gift, right? Or $40. And now you're going to look like a complete freaking cheapskate giving $40 to the college fund. Like, oh my God, who is this? It just puts you in a very weird spot.
Yes.
And I don't like putting people on the spot that way. Especially another thing. You invite several people and then you're like, let's open the gifts, right? And somebody's like, oh my God, I couldn't get her this. And then the other gift is like a freaking Chanel bag or something.
I read that in an etiquette place.
Yeah, I've been to some
you're
of those.
not supposed to open gifts in front of people unless it's expected for everybody. Unless everybody gave you, like a baby shower, for example. Everybody's like doing that.
Clapping.
But at a birthday, if not everybody has brought a gift, and you know that, right? Not everybody has brought a gift, then you say thank you. You maybe open it in front of the person that gave it to you separately.
Oh, that makes sense.
But you do not open it in a big group. You don't call attention to something because then you're making your guests not feel
look at this bar of soap that Janet gave me. Isn't it wonderful? It smells so good.
Hey, but it's a $50 bar
That's
soap.
a really nice bar of soap. If I'm giving you a bar of soap.
So
But then I got Mindy a bottle of Vaseline for her knees.
There you go.
I'm like, lube or Vaseline? What is it? I'm kidding.
Multi-purpose.
So I went to a birthday party with a lot of Russian girls, and I was in shock. So they all give cash. I had no idea. So there I was with my little, gift, little jewelry, whatever. Yeah. And all the other girls had envelopes. Or in the card, when they opened it, all the money fell out. And what they do is they go like this to it.
So it's like a thing.
So the gifts were $500 and up. $700.
I want to go to those parties.
I know.
I want to
But
be
nobody
Russian.
told you ahead of time?
No. Nobody told me.
Wow.
And it was
So they didn't expect it from you?
No, not at all. But I was my mouth
You're
dropped.
like, damn, girl.
I'm like, wow, is this how you guys do it?
Wow.
She's like, oh yeah, they like to give cash. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's money. A lot of money. Don't think $50. No, it's hundreds.
You bring up the friend thing, and we started doing this, which I thought was a great idea. Somebody introduced it to me, and since then, maybe it's 2-3 years, we have a big group of friends. There's like 11 of us, 12 of us, and birthdays, they're like every so often, and it gets expensive, and so. And also, you're talking about those little small gifts. So you're getting somebody $40, whatever.
50,
And so what we ended up doing is everybody puts $25 to $30 into the bucket, and we get them a gift card. So now those $25, $30 turn into $300. Yeah. And so they can actually get something significant.
Nice. Yeah.
I like
So that has been nice.
So, RG, did you send out thank you notes, thank you
what?
texts? How do you thank your friends for all those gifts?
When it's a wedding and a quinceañera, we are very traditional and we do the thank you. And I even teach the girls. Matter of fact, the first years of their life and their parties, I made a habit of them even if they had 10 little girlfriends, you need to write thank you notes, etiquette. Also because I come from a family where my mom para todo tarjetas. But for my birthday, I either texted or I called.
Yeah.
Literally. And I still have the list of the people that I need to still do that. It's a lot. It was a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I am a thinker.
Yeah.
Thinker, whether it's a text, a call, or even a card.
Yeah.
Not all of the time.
Right.
But I will go out of my way to say, you know what? You put so much thought into this. I thank you. I am. Is it rude that I don't sometimes? Or is it rude or it's not expected, right? But a lot of people expect that and they don't get it and then they feel heartbroken.
I'm not a card writer, but I'm a texter. I do hey,
the
thank
acknowledgement.
you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Sometimes I even take a snap with whatever they gave me. Like it was a piece of jewelry. I'm wearing it now, or look, the person.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I love doing that, and I think it goes a long way. But I don't have time to write cards.
Yeah.
No.
And everybody, and that goes back
But
to
you
the
didn't grow
intention.
up that way either.
I didn't grow up that way either.
I think that the people who write cards are a lot of people who have grew up that way with their parents teaching them that, and then also are just becoming very intentional about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, including me, I have every intention of doing the card writing and making my kids do the card writing. And then what happens? The soccer game, the work, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, it's been a month and I still haven't sent these out, or I haven't, and because
Janet,
I was going to write
Forget the cards. Just text someone.
Yeah.
Just say,
But I will say
at the moment.
Yes.
But
Get the damn card.
It could be too extreme with the cards. But the times
you're
that
right.
I've gotten thank you cards, it feels really nice because literally they write down how they're going to use that gift or what it meant for them. And I'm like, wow, they actually set 2 hours apart of their daily life to just dedicate it to thank you. Gratitude. It's showing gratitude, right?
Yes.
I do commend people that do that, but if they don't, tampoco es como que,
They must have a lot of time.
yeah, well, también.
Or that means a lot to them,
But
right?
I will not judge someone if they don't do that. Because I know people are busy.
I even send my boyfriend thank yous the next day, the next morning. Like one of the things we're talking about, picking up tabs and stuff.
Sí.
Sometimes my friends will meet us out while we're out, and he buys them drinks. And again, drinks are expensive.
Yeah.
And so the next morning, I'm always like, "Thank you so much for buying my friend so and so's drinks all night."
Yes.
I mean, he didn't have to do that.
That's a beautiful
So I always
message.
do
think
that.
it's
Just
wonderful.
gratitude to anybody.
Even with your boyfriend or even a husband, always say, thank you.
Sí.
You can't say it enough. Sometimes they really go out of their way.
Even when I go out on double dates and if we had a great time, which we always do, even the next day I will thank my friends and say, that was so much fun.
Yes.
And we already
I do
said
that
thank you the night before. We already hugged it out and we said, oh my God, we got to do it again. But the next day, you kind of remember what you just lived, less than 24 hours. And I am that person that will be like, such a great time. Thank you so much for making the time. That also goes a long way, I think.
We've done it amongst us.
We do it amongst ourselves.
We have.
With other friends. I like that.
We have.
But you mentioned also your significant other. I think you just mentioned it.
Yes.
The significant other is a big deal. When you notice them going above and beyond and doing a lot of really, really great things, they helped you with this. They helped you outside of the everyday, tasks. It's important to say thank you. I noticed what you did. And I know you did it without me even asking. Thank you. Thank you. I have a lot of thank yous. Let's just be real.
Oh my God, that's
Let's
great.
be real.
But
I have
that's
a lot of
good.
thank yous.
Te cansas decir thank you, thank you,
no,
thank you.
I mean it. But I'm very aware of saying thank you because all of those nice gestures become expectations, and you don't want that to be,
Sí.
you don't want them to feel like that. You don't want them to feel like you don't appreciate their good deeds.
It's like, I see you, I hear
I
you.
see you.
You do not go unnoticed.
Yeah.
This does not go unnoticed. This dinner does not go unnoticed. Of course. I know that.
No, that's super important.
Etiquette, huh?
Etiquette. Parties. So we're still in this area of the parties. So when I married Omar, he had this very bad habit, I thought. But now I'm kind of turning like him.
Oh.
where we just want to leave the party, but we don't want to say goodbye because it takes forever to say goodbye. But it depends on the setting. For example, the last celebration we had was a quinceañera, and he, by 11 o'clock, he was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And the girls were having so much fun. Y me dijo, te espero allá afuera. But honestly, I feel that it's rude. It's a massive quinceañera, beautiful celebration. I know the family. I don't just want to disappear. So I am that one that will go up to at least the parents of the quinceañera and say, such a beautiful party. I got to go, but thank you so much. O sea, me tengo que despedir. I have to say goodbye. But I wonder, sometimes it takes forever to say goodbye because guess what? In that goodbye, okay, one more round of dancing, right? And then I have Omar in the car waiting. That's why I'm like, babe, we can't do that. I'm not the one to just escape.
Right.
I think that people that escape sometimes, I think that's a little bit rude. Especially when the person is too close to that person.
I don't know.
Like a family event, I would never be able to say goodbye.
I don't know. I try to slip away because what if you're in the middle of dancing, you're having a great time, and ya me duelen los pies, and I'm like, great, now I got to go interrupt RG. She's in the middle of like this great dance, and now I got to walk across the dance floor to say bye to her and interrupt her. And I don't want to interrupt.
Well, that's why I ended up dancing again. I know. Because I did that. I ended up dancing a whole round of like, because you're right. Because the thing is, I don't want to leave.
To me, it's like I'm stopping, or if Janet's hosting a party and she's talking to someone, now I have to make her stop the conversation that she's having with someone. Maybe she finally was able to have this one-on-one with this person at the party. Now I'm interrupting to say, sorry, Janet, we're leaving. And now that person gets distracted and they walk away. And I kind of just slip away.
Especially family parties.
Right.
I do not want to say goodbye to 35 to 40 people by one. And then what do you get? Oh, you're leaving already? Wait. We're not even done with the cake yet. Like there's still, and I'm like,
it's 1:30 in the morning.
I got it now. Second cake. Yes. So no. I'm the ones that slip away.
I slip out.
For all the reasons that you mentioned, because sometimes you can ruin that moment.
Okay.
You're having such a blast, and you're coming over to say, I'm leaving, and you're like, why are you leaving? You're having so much fun.
Yes.
You kind of bum out the birthday.
No, see, you know what?
Slip away.
Public events, I slip away. I don't know any goodbyes to anyone.
Yes.
Public events, easy, vámonos. But when it's, there's that saying in Spanish, el que mucho se despide tiene pocas ganas de irse. I think that's me. I just don't want to leave. But I have a partner, my husband, that's checked out already.
Who's waiting?
So I'm
waiting
torn,
in the car.
I'm torn in between seeing a husband that's just sitting there watching me dance at the table or at the car. And so that's another topic for another episode. Like, what do you do when you still want to enjoy the party? So I think that's why I start to say goodbye in hopes of still enjoying a little bit more of
Take your own car.
Yes.
My biggest advice.
I learned that from you.
For those people.
Yes.
Take your own car.
Yes,
I do that with my guy, my man.
Yeah.
We're happy because he gets to go to bed when he wants to go to bed. He has like a little timeline where like 11, I got to be like in bed, tucked in. I don't. I want to dance the night away.
I remember Carl's party.
Yeah, I don't want
for my party
for me.
You got there first. And I said, where's Andy? Oh, babe, he's right behind me.
He's right behind
Where?
me.
Yeah, in his car.
Yeah.
Why? Did you guys come together? Oh, no. I'm going to stay. He's going to leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird, but you know what?
No,
I get it.
Because
I get it.
he cuts out at parties at around 10:30.
Yes.
That's it.
Igual que Omar.
I'm so
Carl,
surprised.
the same.
They need a carpool.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting started. I'm getting warmed up
Yes.
at 10:30. Like I'm going to be there like at 12.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to shut this place down. So honestly, it's
true.
The best decision was to take your own car.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking.
wow.
And here's another thing. I don't drink, so I don't have to worry about like, oh my God, I'm going to be drinking and driving. I don't have to worry about that. I'm so in the moment.
Yes.
I can leave when I want.
Yes.
And also resent.
Oh, yeah.
You don't resent the other person. Like, why do we have to leave? It was so much fun. Well, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So much resentment. Like, what a party pooper, right? So you don't want that. It's like you just want to party. Unless your energies match, then hallelujah, that's amazing. But most of us don't have that. Our men want to be in bed. They rather be in. 2 hours for them is more than enough.
And for us, it's not.
Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and speaking of family parties, we got to talk about family parties and how many people you bring to a family party and how we are now a different generation where we have quinceañeras where we, nice formal events. We don't have backyard parties on the, ay, sí, hombre, tráete tus compadres, y tráete tu hermana y sus hijos. It's like different.
Yeah.
Now that's like something else. Again, going back to etiquette, like our generation, I think, is a little different. I mean, do we still want the whole chusma to come to our parties? Or are we limiting it down to two people? 2, 1,
Mira,
2, 4.
si tengo rancho, que se venga todo el barrio.
Sí.
Right? Pero if it's a limited capacity,
A formal
event, well, of course you have to say you plus 2, you know,
Yeah.
you plus 3.
Right.
I kid you not. For Cami's 15, till this day, I lost touch with the family of 5, because I only had an invite of 4. Mm-hmm. And so they rejected the invite and said, we're a family of 5. Enjoy the party. Like, even that kind of answer, it hit me and it hurt me so much, because it's like you also have to understand the host that's investing in this celebration where you're paying by head, not by vienen donde come uno, comen dos. Not here.
Right.
Aquí en estos eventos, no. Aquí donde come uno, and that's it, you know? So it's very tricky. If it's a house party, I'm like, you know what? Aviéntale más agua al caldo de frijoles.
Yeah.
But when it's a seated event, like a quinceañera, a wedding, anything that's formal, for me, it's like, it should be etiquette that you respect the number on the invite. Yeah. If it's 4, it's 4. And if it's one person, it's one person. I know that you brought up that point about the single person. Single person, you're right. I tend to do that. Well, no tiene esposo, no tiene novia. You know, it's just one person. But then I'm like, if they bring a person, I don't know that person, and this event is intimate and social, I don't want strangers in the party. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Is that rude? I don't know. And it's been a predicament for me in many instances. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
How do you handle
and I'm bringing it, I wanted to bring it up because you've also taught me something. Because then, you know, I just assumed, like, for your party, for your 50th, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to bring my boyfriend. I'm going to introduce him to the girls. And then when I went to RSVP, I was like, oh, I can't RSVP for 2 people. It just says my name. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, damn, RG, like, she knows I really like this guy and I want to introduce him. I was like, this was the perfect opportunity. And I had a hard time with it, RG. I was like, oh my God, like, she doesn't want me to bring my boyfriend. And I'm like, Mindy gets to bring
your boyfriend
hers.
at the time.
Exactly.
No, he was. We were already.
Well, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing with, and I'm glad you bring it up, because it was also a very hard one for me. Yeah. So we both had it hard.
Yeah.
That was weird. But yes,
we both had it hard. It awkward. It was awkward. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was awkward
because you were still getting to know this person. Yeah. You've been talking about this person, and we're happy to see you happy, but we still don't know him. So in my radar, when I have a capacity of 120 people, I have a massive family and cousins and primas and primos that are not going to make the cut. And trust me, I got heat. And so obviously when I have single friends, you're not the only one. I'm thinking, well, as long as I have D, of course I want D. But at this moment, I can't think of the extra person because I have my cousin that also deserves to be there. And also because I guess, how do I put this? Because it's a predicament for us because cada cabeza está contada. Yeah. So it wasn't something against you and your person. Right. It's something that hay prioridades. It sounds bad, right? Yeah. Hay prioridades de la lista. And when you brought it up to me via text, girl, I did not know what to do. Yeah. Okay, RG, I really want to bring him, and I already told him. Yes. And I was like, how do you invite someone when... How do you do that? Yeah. O sea, yo no haría eso. But that's me. Yeah. Si alguien me invita a mí, no voy a invitar a alguien más, sino basta primero investigar. First, let me investigate. Is there room for another person? Right. Then I would be like, let me tell the guy that I'm getting to know. Yeah. Because that's another thing that Janet said. Yeah, in your world, you guys are already strong. But in our eyes, you're still getting to know this person. So I don't know how serious he is with you. Right. And I'm like, I want her to have memories with me. And make more memories with him out somewhere else and not in my party so she could dance with me. Yeah. Which we did dance, by the way. You know, and I love that. So that was my take. Yeah. But, you know, it worked out. It did. And he ended up coming and we ended up meeting him and I love him. Yeah. But it was a predicament and you're not the only one. O sea, these sticky situations come up. Yeah.
But that's how we grow up, right? We grow up differently. We see things differently. It's not that one person is trying to hurt the other. It's just that they're focused on the task at hand and how they want to handle things. And you have things that you're thinking about that other people just don't see. And then you're thinking, oh, well, every other party that I've been to has been this way.
Yes.
And so it's just expectations, right? It's just like the way we grew up or the way we've been doing things until you get to a point where people are doing things differently. That's when you're like, oh, I'm learning here. But I'm like, I get it.
I get it. But here's another point. And this has come up with our family. We have a big family.
Yeah.
Also, you don't know how long you're going to be with that boyfriend. It can last 2 months. It can last, 6, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
So also, we've been through the trouble of taking group pictures. And then you have to eliminate that person because they're not the same one. And it's like, sometimes when you invite people, you want to make sure that they're solid.
Yes.
So like Andy and I, we're going on 6 years plus. So it's,
Yeah.
And I didn't take him to a lot of events.
Yeah.
Trust me. We had 60th birthday parties. I didn't want to take him because like, there it is. What are you going to say? Can you wait here while I take a picture? It's like, you're going to welcome in and then now you have to cut him out.
Yeah.
But Mindy, you had a really good tip as a photographer where to put that person.
At the end.
Put that person
You can chop it off. You can chop it off if it doesn't work out.
Yes.
Right.
Because we don't know the future.
Yeah.
And I think that's
We don't,
where I
so-
want to come back with D because D,
Solid, right?
I did feel bad when my birthday thing came up. And I only bring it up because I know a lot of people have gone through the same situation. But in my world, you're still getting to know him.
Yeah.
Because honestly, habían pasado, ¿qué? 2 months?
Yeah.
More or less.
It was like a month and a half. Yeah, a month.
And had
really,
you
like a month,
told us
month and a half.
before, like, girls, it's getting serious. I want to introduce you to him.
Yeah.
If I had known a little bit of history, you know what? Maybe we would have even gone out on a date.
Yeah.
A week before or 2 weeks before to kind of break the ice so that when the big party comes, I already know he's coming because ya me lo presentaste. I'm not saying I'm your mom and you don't need to approve of. No, but I'm, like Mindy said, I'm seeing a Diana being conquistada. So it's like, does she really want to bring him now and introduce him to everyone? Like, is this the setting?
Yeah.
Yo ni por aquí me imaginé eso.
Yeah.
Ni por aquí.
Yeah.
Until you said it. I'm like, oh, okay. Who do I scratch out? Let's see who's not coming, which, by the way, 10 people didn't come. And that's why I was able to say, yes, bring him.
Slip
Yeah. No, and but it's so funny because I wasn't upset because then I was just like, fuck, like I was trying to put myself in your position. Yeah, you had a lot of people to invite. And then when you're in a certain place, it's also a space issue. It's not even like, of course, I'm sure you were like, invite everybody, but you can't when it's a space issue too.
The tables.
So
right?
I don't want you to think like I have a grudge about it or anything because you taught me, like she's saying, you start to learn like, oh, other people do things differently. And that's okay.
Right.
Like for me, I was just excited to tell him, oh my God, my friend's going to celebrate her 50th birthday. You're going to come with me. Like in my head, I was just assuming he was going to come with me. I don't know. I was just excited about it. That's it.
See, but that means that means that you're ready to present them to your circle. And we didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue here.
Yeah.
That we didn't know that you were ready 2 months in. That you were ready to bring him into the circle.
Yeah.
And you chose my celebration. Had you told me that before, pues yo me preparo mentally, but you didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my mind,
we didn't talk about it. Yeah.
she's being courted, how fun, how beautiful. But still, when I'm doing the guest list, it's D. It's D. It's D.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're ready to bring him.
Right.
What if you aren't ready? And I tell you, bring him, and you're like, oh, no, I'm not ready to bring him.
Yeah.
¿Sí me entiendes?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
what do we learn here?
What is the etiquette?
What is the etiquette?
Janet, tú que has leído tanto de eso.
Let them know him first. If the person,
I
birthday
think communication.
Person,
It's everything. I think when there are misunderstandings, then I think clearing it up, right? Like I know that your intention is not to hurt me and cut somebody off. Like I know that you're not trying to do anything bad. I know that you're looking at the party. We also know Argelia, and she's very detailed. And she is very intentional with her guest list. She's very intentional with party planning. There's so much detail into every single thing. And so I think when you know that it's not meant to be hurtful.
Yeah.
And so that happens with a lot of different parts of our life, right? We have our family. When I grew up, there was no RSVPs. Are you kidding me? It was literally like Thursday. Mañana vamos a hacer carne asada. Vénganse. And dile a tío esto, primo esto. Like, and you tell 3 people and 75 show up, right?
Yes.
And there was no RSVP. Since then, growing up, and all of us, not just me, but all of us, we've had more intimate gatherings, more sit down dinners, more formal events. And we have all learned to RSVP a little bit more. Some people take a little longer.
Don't. Yeah,
no.
There's that etiquette. People don't RSVP.
And it's
They
the
lose the
older
invites.
people because, ¿sabes lo que es? It's like, pues a ver qué.
Yeah.
A ver qué. We'll see. That's their response to say, we'll see. Maybe I have to work or maybe I have to do this. Like in
maybe
their
something
mind.
better comes up because that's how I would feel.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't RSVP because you're waiting to see if something else comes up for that day.
But the people that do that are usually older. And so what I have learned, and even for my wedding, like there was a group of people, I literally had to have an extra table.
For extras.
Open for extras because we had a bus that went from San Juan to Guadalajara and I didn't know who was going to get on that bus.
Yeah,
and the people had said yes, they weren't going and we ended up having extra people. And my whole thing is know your audience, right? Know who your people are, know your friends, try to know them so that you're not offended by things that they do because it's not against you. It's just the things that they do. And we're not going to change people, right? We can ask them like, you know what, this really means a lot to me. Can you please RSVP? Or people that don't RSVP, right? Like you just call them and be like, hey, can you RSVP?
You gotta remind them. You know how tedious that is? Texting and calling the day before. There's a deadline on the invite.
Yes.
So you said about past generations. This generation, I mean, we know the etiquette. You get an invite. It says RSVP by a certain day. But still, that day arrives and you're texting people.
Right.
Like Janet.
And it's so...
I have done that. I've tried to be better about it because you know what? You go through it all and you know what happens is like, okay, I get the invite and then I'm like, okay, I have to see like who's going to pick up, who's going to do. And entonces I stop thinking about it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have an RSVP. So, but what happens? You plan an event and you put an RSVP.
And you want everyone.
You appreciate it so much when people RSVP right away. So what I have started to do now is just in the moment, I already know I'm going to say yes. If I happen to plans change or I can't figure things out, then I will, decline. But there's a 99% chance that I am going. So I'm just going to say yes right away. But these are the things that it's like learned behavior, right? It's learned behavior because we never grew up with RSVPing. And we do come off like not doing the right thing all the time until that becomes a learned behavior. Same. And it's just having patience and having love and knowing intention. Yeah. I go back to intention so much. People might hurt you, but when you know that their intention wasn't to hurt you, you can get over that and you can let it go and you can have a conversation about it.
Don't take it so personal.
Yeah.
Don't take
and
it
it's
so
not
personal.
sometimes, most of the time, it's not about you. It's about them. And maybe they just can't get their shit together for whatever reason. They were going through something. And,
But even when you get reminders, girl, you know how now we send out invites, electronic, and you send reminders like, hello.
Yeah.
Even those reminders get ignored or get
sometimes
shuffled.
people are going through stuff.
See?
Or they're not organized, and it's nothing to do with you.
It's happened to most of us.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
We can't be hypocrites about it. Like, oh my God, I hate when they do that. You've done it too.
we've done it too.
But see, that's why car stuffing that gift at the last minute.
Yes.
You're the one picking up that gift card because God damn it, you had a crazy ass week. I mean, we've all done it.
And
Janet,
you smile at that fucking candle.
Janet didn't put that card in the mail, but her intentions were that she wanted to write that beautiful card. And it's okay. We've all been there.
Yes, I know, Coma, but we're talking about etiquette.
I agree. So let's learn the etiquette, right? I say we learn it. I think it's classy. It's beautiful.
Exactly, classy.
But if somebody doesn't come through the way you want them to come through, give them grace.
Don't be too harsh.
Don't
be too harsh.
Is it wonderful to have great etiquette? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Classy.
It's so classy, right?
But it just says so much about you.
It really does. So whenever we can do it, I think it's gonna be amazing. It's well received.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's try to do it. But if sometimes we can't. We try so hard.
Nobody's perfect.
And give other people grace and give yourself grace too. You have every intention of doing, the gift or the thank you or everything else. But sometimes things don't happen. And also for etiquette, we're talking about etiquette versus just, people not doing it. But they have to subscribe to that idea for them to participate in etiquette. If they don't know, or if they don't think it's that important, or they don't, they're not going against us. They're just going about the way they do things, right? And so they might find another thing important that maybe isn't so important to you. And so what I say sometimes, I'm like, when you know something is important to me, even if you don't care about it, for every relationship, when you know something is really, really important to me, like, please do it because you don't care about it.
I have
and
a
so
good
you
example
can do
of
it.
that. Taking shoes off when you get to somebody's house. That's a thing now. Or not thing now. That's always been a thing.
I only have gone through that once in my life, and it was weird. But you know what? It's their home. I respected it. I took off my shoes because they provided pantuflitas.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would I do that too? No. No, it's not
like
my thing. But you know what?
Like Janet said, it's important. Like for one of my best friends.
I think it's cultural too.
Yeah.
A lot of Latinos don't do that.
One of my best friends, you walk into her house and it's like, you got to take your shoes off. And,
Right.
Oh, the first
But you know what I think about that? I'm going to tell you what I think about
What?
that. I'm like, okay, what do I prefer? Do I prefer the soles of a dirty shoe from the street?
Yeah.
Or do I prefer the sweat of someone's feet? Because esas patitas, piecitos, patitas is for animals. Esos piecitos se quedan marcados en el piso. I see it in my house with my girls.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay.
Oh, they're dirty?
Well, no, but it's
like
our feet
footprints.
sweat. Like you see footprints, and I'm thinking, do I want my sweat on my friend's beautiful house? So it depends what gives you cooties.
Yeah.
The bacteria and the dirt from the street or the sweat from your dirty feet. Because I've seen women with chanclas and I've seen their soles. And I'm sorry. I've seen those soles and I'm like,
That's when you go, you keep those on.
Yeah, keep those on because your soles, I'm sorry.
You provide some socks to those people. You're like, here,
girl, let me help you out.
booty little socks for you, honey. Cover those toesies. But let me tell you, what it's funny because we're talking about germs, right?
Yes.
But this is I never even thought about the germs. I thought more about like, do you see my cute fucking outfit?
I know.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you see my cute ass fucking dress? With my cute ass jewelry, and now you want me to put on those slip-ons to ruin my very well composed outfit. Could you just next time tell me?
See,
yes,
so I'll just wear my freaking hoodie.
Oh, you're not wearing the right socks.
Yeah,
you're just like,
It happened to me one time.
You have no pedicure.
You have no pedicure.
And they give you chanclitas, and you're like,
how about no chanclas?
Me. My feet
How about
look...
no
That's
chanclas?
rude.
I know.
That's
And then
rude.
and my bare feet. I'm like,
No.
oh man.
Yes.
Now for just visiting somebody, okay, I'll comply. It's just you and me, like whatever, you know. But if you're at a party and you're dressed up,
That's the worst.
I think you let go of that. I have friends who do have the no shoe policy, but if they have formal parties, they let go of that. You know, of that requirement, if you will.
Oh no! Well, there's a lot of Asians, right? A lot of families.
Yes.
We have a lot of friends that you have to leave the door. I mean, I'm sorry, the shoes at the door. You have to leave them.
Yes.
And but then I know, and I have an extra little booties that I take.
So you already know.
Enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be prepared to carry it in your car. You know.
Oh, I never thought about doing that.
Yeah, but it does ruin because you like the height, right, of that heel. It just ruins the outfit.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bummer, but I get it. Germs, it's a real thing.
No, or they make you put those like paper booties
Like
over
when you're
your
gonna
high
go
heels.
over your
Oh, no.
And I'm like, really? Like you said, now I'm wearing a cute dress with blue, like hospital looking booties.
Like when you go
I'm
to
like,
see
really?
houses. There are houses that you
the
go see
houses.
and they make you take off your shoes. But I get it.
that's
Those are
fine.
new
No, that's
homes,
fine.
new floor. They don't
Right.
want any scratches.
Right.
That's a perfect setting. Yeah, but that's a tricky one. That's definitely a tricky one.
These are all tricky, man. These
But let
are
me tell
all
you,
really
if they let
tricky.
you know, I appreciate it so much. Like no shoes allowed. Just let me know. Or they have the little sign in the front where it says no shoes allowed.
Sí.
You know.
But what does it all come down to and back to? Communication.
Totalmente.
I think etiquette in general is communication. I am communicating my expectations. I am communicating what I feel. I am communicating that I was hurt. I'm communicating that I expect something or want something from you or you want something from me. It's all about communication. It all comes down to it. I think as soon as we feel something from one side or the other, just talking to each other clears everything up.
Societal. It's societal to me, common courtesy. To me, it's about common courtesy. It's not even communication. It's if the waiter comes and checks on me, I'm always like, thank you. Like I'm always saying thank you to people.
Oh, talk about waiters. Oh my God. Tips. tipping.
Well, if they deserve it, yes. If it's rude.
If they came to your table, yes.
If it's rude and it's the bad service, because I mean, let's be honest, there is some bad service out there. It's like, why am I going to tip you when you didn't even cater to me? You gave me the wrong wine,
You
or
didn't
you gave me
check
the
up
wrong
on
dish.
me.
You didn't check up on me.
Yeah.
Disappeared on you,
But
right?
I'm talking about the tip now where you go to the counter and you have to order your
no.
hamburger and everything, and then they turn it around and they go, the computer has a question for you. And I'm like,
yes.
I reject it
Really?
right away.
But you know what? That is not the old school tipping. So we had this social norm that when you went to a restaurant, you sit down and you tip, right? And it's become between used to be lunch 15, then 20, and maybe you tip a little bit more if you were really, really, you felt the urge to do it. But now this has been in the last few years where that computer, right, the computer screens and us using our phones, and there's just an added way of creating that asking for more money, whether it's donate to this organization or, when you're going through the grocery line, and everything is just more automated. And so it's just easy to attach that next screen where it asks for your tip. And then it starts at 18 or 20%, right? And then it goes up to 25%.
I know. I love it when it says other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then you can say, okay.
I say none.
See,
Other $1.
Zero.
And that's okay
for me,
too.
if I had to get out of my car and I had to walk up to the counter to order ice cream, Subway, whatever it is, acai, uva tuba, whatever it is, I don't care. I did the work of walking and getting my food. I understand that you're making it very neatly, but that's why you have a boss that's going to pay you for that service. That's between you and your boss. But if I had to work for it, I don't need to tip. And I've told my girls, I'm not feeling bad that I'm putting none, okay?
Yeah.
You're not judging mommy, because I'm very generous in other ways.
Yeah.
Like the nails, I'll tip my girl, right?
Yes.
Because she's like, wow, you did a great job. So I depende de donde. But this whole tipping culture here in the U.S., I've had it.
It's not a
expectation.
It's gone out of control.
And I hate how awkward it feels too when they're like, we're going to turn the computer around for you to, and I'm like,
They just flip it.
seriously? Yes,
Yeah,
they
turn
flip
it. Now
it,
it's
whatever,
just flip.
flip, whatever it is.
Right.
It's an automatic
so
thing.
awkward to me. I
Yeah.
Then you
hate that.
go to your car feeling guilty because
That's what I mean.
the people behind the counter are kids, they're teens, they're young people, and they're probably saying, "Oh, look at that."
Yeah.
cheapskate."
Or when they ring the bell when you tip and then no bell when you don't.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, I've never experienced that before.
Jersey Mike's. Jersey
What?
Mike's. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I see Cold Stone too.
That's a
You
good
look like a
marketing right
bonita.
there. Stop. Really?
Yes.
Oh my
In
God.
serio?
Yes.
Stop it.
She tipped.
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
The whole
Oh,
staff.
thank you very much. I'm like, oh my God.
Make it so obvious,
So then
right?
now, if you don't tip, they're just like, okay, bye.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm happy that they don't have a horn for something that doesn't tip. Imagine there goes a no tippers and they blow out a horn.
She didn't tip.
So yes, if you don't tip, no horn.
Exactly.
Anyways, girls, I wish I had a horn to say that we've gone over past our time, and that's also very
We've gone
rude.
forever.
Yes.
Because our comadritas
Let's stay with our etiquette.
Yes,
I
and
know.
comadritas hear us during their lunch. And sometimes their lunch break is only half an hour, and they're like, "Oh, darn it, they went more than an hour."
I know.
But comadritas, if you're enjoying this episode, please, 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 we want to hear about your experiences with etiquette. What's rude? What's not rude? We didn't even talk about cell phones. We'll talk
my
about that in
gosh.
another episode.
Yes.
The etiquette with cell phone use,
Yes.
public and private, in the bathroom.
At the nail
That is
salon,
true.
you just brought up the nails.
Yeah, the nails.
No, today I went to the bathroom here in our building, and I had to literally listen to this girl's convo.
Ew.
You're on the toilet and you're on speaker with the guy. And you know what I did? I flushed my toilet like 3 times. I'm like, dude, seriously? Why? Your phone, germs. Going back to germs.
Yeah,
And the fact that there are people next to you in other stalls.
Ew, gross.
O sea, de verdad.
That's not etiquette.
I mean, was
on
the-
her
was the-
end
was
and
the,
on your end.
conversation interesting?
Okay, this is the longest goodbye.
No nos queremos ir.
Notas.
Speaking of parties and etiquette.
No nos queremos ir. El que mucho se despide tiene pocas ganas de irse. So we got to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
But share your experiences. We have so much that we didn't even cover.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? We could be here forever, right? And that's
Yes.
not.
I'm ringing the bell.
Yeah, ringing the bell.
Until the
Ring
next
bell.
one.
Yeah.
We love you, comadritas. Ringing the bell, coma. Ring it in.
Subscribe. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. We'd love to see your reviews and hear your thoughts. You can also follow Comadres Unfiltered on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more updates. New episodes every Tuesday. Until next time, comadritas.